Hi, it's Memaw in the kitchen again today. Today I have a helper with me. This is our youngest granddaughter, Audrey. And yes, if you're looking at this, I said youngest granddaughter, and I'm short, she's tall, okay? What we're going to make for you first today is we are going to make a cheesecake in the quick cooker that I got as a hostess gift from Pampered Chef. So right now we're going to put this on pause and we're going to gather up the ingredients, and then we're going to see if we can make this cheesecake. It'll be the first time I've ever done this, so we will be experimenting together. Okay, we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to show you this recipe here, and I'm going to read it as we're going along. The crust calls for 3/4 of a cup of graham cracker crumbs, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. It says that we are to combine those 3 ingredients together in a small bowl and mix well, and then press the crumb mixture evenly into the bottom of a springform pan. So let me get the graham crackers crushed up, and then we will be back with you in a moment. Okay, my assistant is over here, and she is fixing to very noisily turn the food processor back on and do the graham crackers. So here we go. A little bit of noise going on here. All right. That ought to do it. Let's take that out and see if we have enough graham crackers in there now. Alright, there's our 3/4 of a cup of crumbled vanilla or crumbled graham crackers. Okay, we're going to get us a small bowl out of the cabinet. That one will do. And we're going to put our graham crackers in there. We're going to get there 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and our 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And we're going to get a spoon and we're going to mix that together. We're going to incorporate that butter into all of that graham cracker goodness that we've got going on there. And we're going to take our springform pan and we're going to pour these graham crackers down into the bottom of it, and we're going to press them out into the bottom. Be back in just a minute. Okay, Audrey is going to pour her graham cracker mixture that she's got mixed up now into the bottom of this springform pan, and with the back of her spoon she's going to spread it out and kind of press down on it while she's doing it to make the crust. And what we want to do, let me get my little left hand in here for you, is we want to kind of push it up on the edge. You see how I'm doing that? Okay, you come do it. We want to push it up on the edge so that when we get our cream cheese mixture in there, that a little bit of the graham crackers is coming up over the edge of our finished cheesecake. Okay, use this little dish here and let's just press down on everything. so that you don't see the bottom anymore. Okay, you're sticking to the bottom. Okay, we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we finished putting our graham crackers into our springform pan, and we've got it all spread out and smooth across the bottom. And now we are going to gather up the ingredients for the cheesecake itself. And this recipe calls for 2 packages of cream cheese softened, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, a half a cup of sugar, and a cup of water of all things. Okay, so let us assemble those things up right now and get them ready to go, and we'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. Okay, I have never made this recipe before, so reading the ingredients and reading the directions for making the cheesecake filling, we are supposed to put the cream cheese in a large mixing bowl and beat it, which means turn the mixing bowl on. We're supposed to add the cornstarch, the vanilla, eggs, and sugar, and beat on medium speed until it is incorporated, and then pour all of that into the crust. Apparently, with this being in a quick cooker, the 1 cup of water comes in when we add that to the quick cooker, which makes the steam to cook the cheesecake. So it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, when you're using a brand new recipe that you've never used before, everybody is a brand new cook. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, we've started creaming together our 2 packages of cream cheese. We're going to turn the speed up just a little bit. That's good like that. Okay, we're going to let that incorporate a little into the bowl and get mixed up. Okay, and to this mixture, Audrey is going to add the 2 eggs. Our cornstarch, and our half a cup of sugar, and she's going to measure out a tablespoon of vanilla. And pour that in there. And we're going to turn the speed up 1 more notch on the mixer. And we're going to let that incorporate. Okay, we're going to turn the mixer off for a moment, and we're going to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl to make sure that everything is incorporated down into the mixture good. Once she scrapes it down from the sides of the bowl, we're going to turn the mixer back on for just a minute. Don't get that. Don't get rid of that. Okay, keep that handy. All right, we're going to turn the mixer off now, and we're going to transfer the cheesecake filling into the springform pan. Okay, we're going to have to take the beater off. You know how to do that? Turn it.
Oh. I can't get it off.
Well, let's turn it this way. Okay, and we're going to leave that right there. And we're going to take the whole bowl over. And we're going to scrape the mixture off of the beater. So we're going to pick the beater up and scrape the mixture off of the beater, because we really don't want to waste any of this deliciousness that we've got going on here. Okay, let's look at your beater. You got just about nearly all of it off. That's good. Okay, now comes the fun part for a, not a little girl, but a young girl. She is going to take this and carefully dump it into the, on top of the graham crackers. And ladies, this is one thing that I think is so important, is that we get our children and our grandchildren into the kitchen and we teach them how to do these things so that they can pass on this knowledge when we're not here anymore. And they can say, you know what, when I was 13 years old, I got in the kitchen with my grandmother and I made a cheesecake. And I didn't just watch her do it, I actually got to make the cheesecake. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to spread it out evenly. Be careful not to disturb your graham crackers. Okay, we're going to look to see what, well, I'm going to scrape the bowl a little more for her here. Okay, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, and here comes the part where Memaw now becomes the new cook. Since we're cooking this in the quick cooker, it tells us to pour 1 cup of water into this machine. Just pour it in that pot. Okay. Now we're going to take the wire rack that came with it and we're going to place that down into the bottom. We are going to take our springform pan and put it in this little wire cradle that it came with. We're going to pick that up and carefully place it into the carefully place it into that, on top of that. And I think we're going to have to pull those handles down like that. Okay? Okay. Alright. Now we're going to take the lid to the quick cooker and we're going to place it back on top. Okay, we've got the lid on. We're going to turn it and lock the lid on there. Then we are going to lock the lid and select the dessert setting on the front of this machine. Oh, we got to plug it in. I keep it unplugged because there's a little light that keeps flashing for me, and sometimes flashing lights in a kitchen are not a good thing. So let's look on here and let's find, okay, well, dessert is way over here on the bottom right. You see, that says dessert. Okay, now it says to press start. And it says that it is going to sit there and miraculously make this cheesecake for us. According to the timer, it looked like it's going to take 40 minutes. And when the timer is up, it is going to release the steam for 10 minutes. And then we can press cancel. We can push the steam release button to release any remaining pressure inside the machine, and press cancel, and voila, we should have cheesecake. So when this thing, I'll check back in and let you look at its steam. When we check back in, we'll see if we've got cheesecake. Okay, the timer has gone off on the cheesecake, and we are letting it cool down for an additional 10 minutes. Then we will push the manual pressure relief valve on it, and see what we get out of this. In the meantime, while that's going on, I had some frozen strawberries in the freezer, so I've taken them, thawed them out. I've added to them, they were already sweetened, so I added another 1/4 cup of sugar to them and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to let that thicken up. That way, if anybody wants any strawberries on top of their cheesecake, I will let them add it to it. Okay, I'm handing the camera to Audrey, and I'm going to push the manual release button on the quick cooker. And nothing is really happening on it, so I'm going to turn it off. Lift the lid and see what we've got in here. Smoke.
And we knew that there would be work, just not to this degree. You feel super confident buying this home.
Let me.
Super be a family. There's the room that is on this house. You fell in love with it the second you walked in. It's the room we do absolutely everything in.
And like I said, this is an adventure for me as well as it is for you, because I've never made a cheesecake in a quick cooker before.
But it's progressively gotten worse.
But other than not having a brown top on it, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to read as to what on earth we're supposed to do with it next. It says the center of the cheesecake should appear nearly set when you shake it gently. So let's shake it gently and see. That looks pretty good. Okay, we took the cheesecake out of the refrigerator, and we have run a knife around the edge, and now Audrey is going to open the spring form and lift it off, and this is our cheesecake right here. We're going to put it back in the refrigerator for a couple of more hours. I had some frozen strawberries in the freezer, so I've taken them, thawed them out. I've added to them, they were already sweetened, so I added another 1/4 cup of sugar to them and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to let that thicken up. That way if anybody wants any strawberries on top of their cheesecake, I will let them add it to it.